Hey there, folks. Welcome to Echo City. I'm surprised. Luckily, the slight delay makes it not just go into ear-piercing shrieking right away. So, of the people that voted, 67% thought it was going to be a boy. And those 67% of people were wrong. So, as people may know or may not know, Jaxors is pregnant. We're going to be having a kid. And the kid's going to be a girl. So, in order to practice here, we've got Alter Ego booted up here. And I've never played this edition. This is the female edition of Alter Ego. And today I'm going to be Papa Zerf, and you guys are going to be the kid making the choices as to what's going to happen in their lives. I'll try to give you some good advice, but I know kids don't normally listen to their parents. So let's go ahead and pop out the chat here so I can get it close to where my screen is. Where's the pop out? Here we go. And actually manage the polls and whatnot pretty easily. But to start off, we're going to have to name this kid. I'm going to be a forward-thinking parent and let you guys name yourselves. So throw out some names that you think we might have for our lovely lady here. And we'll throw them in a poll and see what ends up getting voted for. Let's create poll. I wish it didn't cover up the chat completely. It'd make it easier to copy and paste. I like that not everybody's going with just naming it after themselves, but I do like that some people are. Well, you don't need to come up with something. We are going to need someone to tie break this this stuff here. Let's wait a minute in case anybody else decides to show up and throw some names in there. But we've got 4 choices to choose from already. That should be pretty good. Pretty good. Calm down. It's not time to vote yet. Your choice is already in there. People might. Geez, Bobo's just throwing out a million options here. I'm only going to put 2 of them in. Although I'll spell Jaxor right for you. Too many X's, too many Z's. That's not necessarily the majority. There's people that aren't putting names down yet. All right, let's go ahead and start up the voting process. So there will be a little vote at the top. Click on that vote. This will be a good test for when you're making important decisions in the game. Because the majority does win. And we'll have to see. See what we end up with. Oh, there's two names that have the majority of stuff. 10 seconds left for people to throw in their votes. It's not a tie yet, but it's pretty darn close. Ah, and the results are in. Zerfina has won by 1 vote. Let's dismiss that. Get into the game. Zerfina. A nice feminine version of the name Zerfall. I like it. Go ahead, start this up. So we're going to make our own personality, and it's going to take a few minutes to do, but it should be fun. Let me just... I know I got 2... Yeah, there we go. 2 versions of chat open here. so that as well as seeing the poll, I can actually see I can actually see who is what people are saying, because the poll seems to cover up my whole little chat window. All right, so let's go ahead, select my own personality. All right, let's find out how chat feels about this. Well, it's too late now. Once you've changed the made a child's name, it costs money to change it, and we're not down for that. Create a poll here. Honest. All right, hit your vote up. Are you guys going to be honest about this or dishonest about your answers? I guess it's not necessarily honesty so much as it is, are you going to have a little bit of fun? Or are you going to try to play it out as if you had been a young girl in the 1980s? Although I don't remember if the game actually starts in the 80s or gets there when you're an adult. All right, so we're going to go with true. Start up a new poll right away. Are you going to speak whatever comes to mind? I just wish it would save the last poll, actually. It'd make it a lot easier to get these things going. Although I'm sure there's a way to programmatically cause a poll to come into existence. I don't know what it is yet. Oh, and this one's got a little more of a split decision. Everyone was talking about honesty before, but now people are like, oh, are they gonna overthink it, or are they going to just fly by the seat of their pants? Find out soon enough. Brutal honesty is best. Well, that's not actually true in this game. There are some times where if you're brutally honest, you'll get the less good thing to happen. But this time we're going with true for speaking whatever comes to mind. And are you a light sleeper who stirs at the slightest sound? I'm going to change this up here to make sure you people aren't just clicking the same button every time. So, are we a light sleeper who stirs at even the slightest sound? This will affect some things in the game, but not too much. I think it's mainly your starting stats is what you're going to end up with. And I'm not sure exactly how they affect it. But, I don't know. Maybe there's a point in the game where there's a fire in the house and the fire alarm's going off. If you're a light sleeper, you wake up. Or maybe there's a thing where it's a rainy day and you have a big test tomorrow and the rain keeps you up. We're going to go ahead and choose that we are a light sleeper. And here's one that I think I know the answer to. Is revenge sweet? True or false? Oh, shoot! See, this is what happens. This is what happens when I mix it up. I'm the terrible one. Jeez, now we gotta load the game back up. So we have true, true, false. What a terrible person I am. I was fooled by my own switcheroo. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Luckily we weren't too far into the game yet. And a little warp speed will get us there. Also, surprise music. That was the hack screen from somebody who cracked the game so that we could play it without the original copy. Back into warp speed, though, to get this game loaded. We're going to begin a new game. And the name we have up here is Zerfina. Sorry, you don't get to vote again. Zerfina. We're going to select our own personality. Are we going to answer these questions honestly? Well, the answer was true to that one. Yes, honesty. True with 3 votes. Likely to speak whatever comes to mind. True with 2 votes. Light sleeper. False with 3 votes. And is revenge sweet? Revenging. It is best served cold. But is it a savory dish or a sweet dish? It's up to you guys. I'm a petard. Uh-oh. Why uh-oh? Oh, a 50-50 split so far. Well. Well. Where is my question mark? So I've got a little question mark coaster from Mario. Oh man, it's official licensed. So I'm going to set up this little camera. Oh, Bean says true. Shall we accept Bean's votes? That is a little more fun. She could always get on her mobile device and vote herself. Actually, she can't. That sucks. The mobile device never works for voting. Yes, it's true. We can do this. All right. So will we let Bean be our tiebreaker? Sexy pose. Oh.
What, like this?
So, here is your chance to vote. Are we going to let Bean be the tiebreaker? What is Bean? Bean is the cohabiter of Bobo the Vulture. The Mrs. Vulture. Vulture Bean to his Vulture Bobo. And Bean is awesome. Erdenshire is absolutely right. 100% of the vote. Everyone says yes, so we will accept Bean's decision. And she said what? True? So we're going to go with true. Revenge is sweet. Oh, Bobo apparently thought revenge was savory. All right. I often feel slow, tired, and down in the dumps. Is this true or false? Tired and dumpy. Start up the poll. See what happens. I'm glad that Bean's here to be the tiebreaker. It saves me a lot of... Well, what I think is, gamers are people too, and the vote is very split on this one.
You may have something a little classier than a TV set called a monitor.
Yeah, those monitors, they're pretty fancy. So we're going to go with false, but it's only won by 3/5 of the vote. She doesn't have to log in too if needed, but if she wants to, she's perfectly welcome to. But then you'll have to let me know that she's logged in so that I know not to... Oh, you don't want to see a baby in a dumpster. Fair enough, said Power. So, is it important to... Is an important part of every job knowing who to impress? True or false? You could give her 2 votes if you didn't let me know that she was voting. Ah, people in the votes, the chat voting, they know, they've experienced life. Pressing the janitor may come with unintended consequences. And with 100% of the vote, we're going with true. It is important to knowing who to impress. I'm fascinated by car accidents and other disasters. So, I mean, there is a certain morbid curiosity that people have about these things. Oh, see, Bobo knows Bean well enough to just cast her vote for her sometimes, apparently. You never know when the janitor's secretly a savant that's going to answer the math problems on the board. Maybe they can help you get through school. Jeez, the lighting in here is terrible on this webcam today. All right, 3-1. We are going with true. Next up, the people who know me best like me as a person. True or false? Oh, another split vote. Oh, unlucky actually came in and sleep in the office today. Normally he goes and hangs out with Jack Source at the end of the day. So, 3-1. We're going to be going with true. Oh, it's still going. I'm extremely sensitive to criticism. I have a feeling I know the answer to the people that would put themselves out there on the internet making videos. You need a certain thick skin to do this sort of thing. But let's see what chat thinks. Oh, Bobo, you're absolutely right. I should do that. I do like that we're not getting all the votes at 100%, but people are more in one camp than the other on this one. With 3/4 of the vote, we're going with false. All right, I get nervous performing in front of people, even when the task is something I know by heart. I wish I'd made the poll question highlight automatically when you did this. Ah, yes. It's just like that movie Inside Out, where there's a bunch of different emotions and inner thoughts trying to figure out what to do. And then when your imaginary friend disappears, all the adults in the theater cry. Spoilers. Oh, geez. Another vote came in. So what happens is that since Bean isn't logged in, her vote does not count. So we are going to go with false. Performing in front of other people does not make us nervous. We're very outgoing, apparently. The people around me seem happier than me. It depends on if you're on Facebook. Everybody seems to have the perfect life on there. Except for the complainers. In this case, most of the emotions and such are at least borderline degenerates. Fair enough. We'll see what type of person we end up with. And it looks like this one's definitely going one way over the other unless suddenly a bunch of people show up and vote. So with 100% of the vote, we're going to say false. People around me don't seem happier than me. They seem worse off. When I see a wet paint sign, do I touch it to find out if it's really wet? Wet paint. True or false? They can't be happier than you because they're not you. Actually, there's this one guy at work that pretty much every time you asked him how he's doing, you say, hey, how's it going? Oh, if it was going any better, I'd be you. Well, we'll see what this one comes down to. We're going to have to call on Bean. Because it is a tie break. Does Bean think we should touch the wet paint to find out if it's true or false? Bean says false. She doesn't want to get her hands full of paint. I know what that's like. I think I got it all off. I had to shower before the stream today. I was covered in paint. I've been doing priming in the basement. My office is going to be moved down from the upstairs where it is right now, and this room is going to be turned into the baby's room because we need to still have a guest room so that people can come over and help us watch the child. Oh, we have a huge, and we have a tiny backyard, but we have a huge door that goes to it, so that was wide open and getting the fumes out. When I am ill, I become short-tempered and snap at people. Oh, I gotta click on it again. You mad, bro? True or false? You know what? I've experienced both of this. See, yeah, some of them are oddly specific. But they tell you so much about the other parts of your life. For me, it really depends on what type of sickness I have. Most of the time, I just want to go into bed and sleep for hours and hours. Why are you being mean to me? I just want to sleep. Well, it looks like most people don't have this issue. On important matters, I usually follow my parents' advice, even if I disagree with it. True or false? Better answer this one right, guys. Uh-oh. We're gonna have a trying relationship here as I try to steer you down the path of life in alter ego. Oh. False. Face. Yes, she's gonna be rebellious. Is it possible that we live in a world where people watch our every move? This, at the time, probably was meant to seem if you're paranoid, but now everybody just knows the answer. How would this poll start? Oh, my question's not long enough. Ooh, subtly political with my poll question. This isn't even asking if it's true that we live in a world where people... It's just, is it possible? Anything's possible if you have a big enough particle accelerator. 75% of the vote, we're going with true. When I am in a quiet place, I get the urge to scream. Oh, I gotta press this button. Hopefully the sounds are balanced properly. They are in my speakers for me, but hopefully they're not giving you guys ear bleeds. The questions could be made really simple, but I feel like they're trying to get you to answer them more honestly by making them a very specific question. Ooh, we're gonna go with false. 3-1. Is it okay to tell a white lie if it's guaranteed to bring great personal gain? Ah, you want to sing a Yoro. Let's see here. This one's not even about sparing people's feelings. They're saying, if you're going to get mad cash from it or something, is it okay to tell a white lie? It's not even, I mean, it's a white lie. No one's getting hurt. Oh, Bean's very opinionated on this. It would be funny if... Oh, we're getting enlightened here. It would be pretty funny if she was judging them for not choosing true. So you gotta make that paper. 3-1. We're going with true. How does Bean feel about that?
Destroy him, my robot.
Uh-oh. She would have said true. Ah, interesting. Let's set up another poll here. It is often pointless to try to discuss problems with another person. Yes, we're not in her bad books. Depends on the other person. I guess that is true. So, depending on who the people are, sometimes it is pointless. Sometimes it's not. I find that Lucky's a great listener. He didn't even look at me.
Ghostbusters!
There's your answer. Call the Ghostbusters. They'll fix your problem. So we're going to go with false with this one. It's another split vote, but not 50-50. I'm easily embarrassed.
Hey, you know, I really am scared. Don't say anything stupid, you jerk.
Oh, man. Let's just do this. There we go. Oh, that didn't work. I said copy. I said paste. There we go. This one's represented by emojis. Are we easily embarrassed? I will not stop looking at you. Oh my. Everybody seems to be in the same camp for this one. Anybody that was going to vote true was too embarrassed to do so. Children should be seen and not heard. True or false? I mean, I guess it depends. Some people get embarrassed by the simplest stuff. I know there's a lot of people that, you know, at work they might know the answer to a problem, but they don't want to bring it up in case people don't agree with them. That's a little too easily embarrassed. Oh, it looks like we get to find out how Bean feels about children, if they should be seen and not heard. We have a tiebreaker here. False. I find it difficult to break the ice in conversations with people I barely know. It's really easy to do. You just get a Mentos, pop one of those, ice broken. It does depend on the context, and it depends on how much alcohol I've consumed. That is actually kind of true. I'm pretty outgoing with people I know, but with people I don't know, I actually get kind of clammed up in a group situation, and I'll just sit there and interject every once in a while about whatever else everyone else is talking about. Let's look at the results. Oh, Jaxworth is stealing my puppy away. He's like, I am in a bed. He's so conflicted. You can go. There you go. Go on. All right, 3-1. We are going to go with true. We do find it difficult to break the ice. My parents were extremely strict disciplinarians. How do you guys feel about Papa Zerf? Let me tell you something. I don't take crap. You better vote on this one, or I'll be mad. Yeah, there's a lot of people that make it to the summit and don't make it back down of Mount Everest. Three to two. Strict parents. Extremely strict. You can usually judge a person by first impressions. Is this true or false? They didn't. Now, they're not saying that you're right about it. Although I think it implies that you get the right impression the first time. Oh, there is a fruit fly in my house. This is the problem with spring. When you start getting just one or two little fruit flies in there. Bumping up against your monitor. Being jerks. Jeez, I'm almost out of this coffee already. Dude, I gotta clean my desk up. So, 3 to 2. We're going to go with false. We can't usually judge a person by first impressions. Jason seems like a psycho killer at first. Time does nothing to improve on this. That's true. Hey Bart, you like my new chainsaw and hockey mask? All right, let's set up a new poll here. One way of getting people to treat you fairly is to take an aggressive stance and make them win you over. It's not saying that we can successfully do this. It's just saying that it's a possibility. Does it work? Only if you have the bigger guns. If you got 26-inch pythons, they'll do whatever you say. You've got to get swole. Ooh, it's a tiebreaker. How does Bean feel about this? Does she think one way of getting people to treat you fairly is to take an aggressive stance? Kibadachi Yoi. And then you can get your blocks in. But it's harder on a microphone. Bean, false. You catch more flies with honey than vinegar. All right, so we're going to vote false. Ah, the final question, the most important question. Lol, dumb. True or false? Do you think questions like these are stupid and meaningless? It could be patience. I'm curious. Do you know what? I don't know what it does. I'm curious if it changes your stats based on if you think that they're not stupid, it goes with what you picked. And if you think they are stupid and meaningless, then they're like, well, if these questions didn't mean anything, here are your stats. I don't know. This is something chat's going to have to decide. Now, in the game, too, you have stats, and the stats will affect the outcome that you choose. So there will be things... Okay, we're going to go with true here. There will be things where if you have a high enough strength and you try to do something, you will successfully do it. Like climbing a rock, like going rock climbing. If you have a good high strength or athletics ability, you'll go and have a good time. If you have a really low one, you'll go and maybe break your leg. So there's going to be quite a bit of that sort of stuff going on. And starting as a baby, we're going to be making decisions from a child's point of view, but with an adult's mind. But they won't give us, to try to keep us in that child's point of view, they won't give us all the details. You see something blurry. It's a new color. What do you do? Things like that. And you're like, oh, a new color. That sounds interesting. I'm going to grab it. It was sharp. You're dead. It's not that bad, but... Oh, look. There's little Zerfina. Oh, a little bit of sound there. Bump. Welcome to Birth and Infancy. I must be the author of my own salvation. Laurie H. Hutzler. From Invictus Speech. From Johannes to Nicholas, Act 2. You are in a warm, dark, comfortable place. This has been your place since you became aware that you are alive. It's almost time to enter a different world now, a brave new world. How do you want to handle this? Let's get a poll going. Hey, Lethal, thanks for the host. You're pretty good. I'll give you an extra you're pretty good just for fun. Oh man, my soundboard disconnected. Jeez. I wonder if this has... It says failed to connect to Beam. I wonder if this has to do with the new thing. So, how is the baby going to handle this? Are we going to do 1, 2, or 3? 1 is staying a little longer. 2 is come out fighting. 3 is come out peacefully. Yes, in case you didn't catch the big news, Lethal, I announced that the baby is going to be a girl, and you guys are helping me practice my parenting here. You'll be doing the choices. I'll just try to give you some advice, and I'll stay out of the vote. And we'll see what sort of child Papa Zerf can raise when chat is the emotions inside her head. It looks like we're going to be going with option number 2. Come out fighting. She's a scrapper. Yes, they're all virtually cross-dressed for this one. Ouch! Those forceps are denting your skull. Is this any way to treat a star? A bundle of joy? You haven't learned to talk yet, so all you can do is yell until you're red in the face, which everyone interprets as a sign of good health. Yes, this is a strange and confusing world you have been brought into, so save your strength for the events to come. Lethal's gone to his closet to get all ready for the role, dressed up as a baby girl. Yeah, the soundboard's having a bit of an issue. Which some of these sounds would be actually okay for this. You wanted to stay a while, stay. There you go.
Stay a while. Stay forever.
Happy birthday. It's Frosty the Snowman. Happy birthday! And welcome to the world. From now on, life will begin to change rapidly. You will have to learn to accept responsibility, build your resources, manage yourself physically and emotionally. The events that transpire over the course of the next few days include: you are the most beautiful baby in the maternity ward. Everyone takes your picture. The doctors note that your breathing is a bit irregular and suggest special monitoring equipment to avoid serious problems. Your grandmother buys you ballet slippers and a violin so you can use it in a year or so when you get older. You'll be doing it then. Hey, this little virtuoso is 1 year old. Playing the world's smallest violin. Oh. All right, so let's start off with this little heart. I can't remember what these symbols mean. There are various types. We'll discover what they are. This is probably an emotional development thing. You don't have very many skills yet. As a matter of fact, life is pretty boring. What is our mood and what is our action? So this is going to take 2 polls to do this here. So, mood, 1 or 2. I'm going to cut the poll time down to 20 seconds instead from now on so that it's not so ridiculous. You can't do 20-second polls. They have to be 30 seconds. Okay. Well, don't do 50. Jeez. Oh, well, that's the default thing. I guess I'll be able to make the polls a little faster that way. Oh, and do you know what? I think my question was actually just too short. Yeah, that's what it was. Okay, you need at least 5 characters for a question. Oh, man. So I'm going to tell you guys about my idea for a joke to play on Jack's Horrors. She thinks it wasn't going to be funny. She laughed at the fact that I thought it was going to be funny. But one of my brother-in-laws liked it. One of them didn't. It was a mixed bag of who thought, oh, we got a tie here. So, Lethal, you don't know what happens during the ties for this one, but Bean is making the decisions as to what happens on a tiebreaker. So, does Bean think we are going to be restless and irritable because it's boring? Or are we going to be quiet? Quiet, okay. Are we going to sleep, look around, or cry? What do? Jeez, I can't type at all. 1, 2, or 3. So I will say that if you guys choose cry, it's going to say, those choices don't make sense. Because how are you going to be quiet and cry? Things like that will happen in the game where if you try to do something really weird like that. Anyways. So here's the plan for the joke. It was, get a tape recorder or a yak back would work perfectly. And record a little message ahead of time on it and give it to the doctor so that when the baby's coming out, oh, I think I see the head. Here it comes. So you can push play and it goes, hey, Mom, I'm here. I got Benjamin Button's disease. I came out as an old man. Oh, I thought it was hilarious. Okay, we're going to go with look around. Quiet and look around. So I thought it was hilarious. Other people thought it wasn't so funny. I don't know what you guys think, but I thought it'd be pretty good. And then when people were like, I thought you said it was going to be a girl. And I'm like, oh, no, it should just be like, I came out as an old man, and as I get younger, I'm going to turn into a female. Oh, thank you, Bean. I've been practicing for years. You look around and see a large blur about 11 inches from your eye. You're not good at looking at things yet, but you know what an inch is. Every once in a while, it moves. Hey, wait a minute. Just as you had that thought, it moved again. Are we going to keep looking or lose interest? That would be the most awkward child. Pop Soap suggests, does this make us curious? Or are we going to end up with ADHD by losing interest in something so wondrous as a blurry object that moves when you think about it? 4-1, we're going to keep looking. Congratulations, you found your hand. This might not seem like very much of a big discovery, but it is. You will have to learn how to control your hand as part of childhood development. When you are an adolescent, controlling the hands of others will become important too. I'm not actually sure how to take that. All right, let's do this little. That game, that one is the exact same for boys or girls. I know that one. A woman walks into the room with a bottle. In a bottle with a warm white liquid. Are we angry or happy? And do we cry or coo? Let's create a poll here. What do? 1 or 2? I wish Enter just started those. The angriest of coos. For the most brutal of nurses. Nothing. That might be true. That might be true about dad jokes. I always get angry about milk. All right, it looks like we're going to be a happy little child about this. Are we going to coo or cry? I'm going to give you guys the chance to mess this up and then fix it. But cry or coo? Cry, coo. I'm pretty sure this is one of those ones where if you try to be happy and cry, maybe they're tears of joy. We're a really far-sighted baby. We can't see our hands. Babies just aren't good at eyes yet. I mean, they're a autofocus thing when you get older, but when you don't know how to do it yet, your brain's got to figure it out. Baby, how eyes? Oh, and we are going to coo. No one wants to try to be a happy crier. This isn't the... I mean, it might be the happiest thing that's ever happened in our life, but still. Nothing like a nice warm bottle of and a quick hug from Mom. Oh, it was Mom. We're already at home. To get a kid ready to face the world. As she walks towards you with the bottle, she sees you smiling and interprets this as a sign that you want to play with her. She picks you up and holds you for 10 minutes. This presents you with quite a dilemma. Do you want to cry or keep making noises? This is one that's the same for boys and girls too. Let's see. What do 1 or 2? Yes. Mixture's trying to figure out the Dow of babies. The Dow? Dow Jones of babies. She's going to get us disabled. Why do we keep not getting fed just because we're happy? Well, this one, the vote is split a little bit more, but it's not a tie. Things keep going the way they're going, which they seem to be. We're going to keep making noises. Having to delay being fed is uncomfortable, but you are beginning to learn how important human contact is for survival. Your overall stress level increases, but socially you score there I finally got it out. Socially you score a big plus. Every once in a while your tongue just won't make the right shape. Perhaps I should be going through these baby steps. All right, let's find out a little bit more about heart. You were lying on a soft, furry blanket on the floor of a big room. You were on your back, staring at shadows that sometimes creep across the ceiling. Every so often, Mom or Dad pass by making a funny face. Your hands grope in all directions, and your feet pat the floor gently, almost out of your control. What mood are we in? Let's get our little poll going here. Mood? Question mark, so it's long enough. 20-second poll. 1, 2, or 3. Are we happy, sad, or mad? Hey, it's just like the... What you call him? The Triclops guy from... He-Man. I'm sad that I'm flying. Hey, his name is Triclops. Nailed it. I never knew I was so good. All right. 3-2. We are going to be happy once more. We're a happy little baby. So, are we going to try to roll on our side, make an O shape with our mouth, or cry? A baby with a permanent grin on her face. That's strong sad from Homestar Runner on the one menu screen. You click the button. I'm sad that I'm flying. I don't like food anymore. It looks like we're going to try to make an O shape with our mouth. Oh, we got a ding noise. You pucker your cheeks in and out and take short, quick breaths. The skin of your face feels alternatingly tight and loose. A person walks by and twirls their fingers at you. Do you turn towards the person or move your face back and forth? Perhaps we are like one of Will Smith's kids, and we'll whip our hair back and forth. That's how you know you're old these days, Homestar Runner. If you remember Homestar Runner, you just might be an old person. I mean, it's still on the web. It's still out on the internet. The Strong Bad emails are pretty good. Some of the things are a little bit dated. What's a Robot gets thrown around every once in a while still. It's all it's .com. Yeah, was it homestarrunner.net? It's .com. Was that the... All right, we are going to turn towards the person. And I have a feeling we're going to... You're too young to keep the person in view for a long time. Whoever it is, he moves past in a blur. Interesting. Well, let's work our way up. We're going to use our skull shape icon here.
Oh, so you like nurses? Well, okay.
Hey, if nurses bring you bottles, you're going to like them. All right. Lying on your stomach in the crib, you notice an interesting object an arm's distance away. It has a round shape at the top and a ring on the bottom. All right, time to decide our mood. Are we going to be angry or frustrated? Are we going to have determination? Or are you just going to be neutral about it? Meh. Oh, Wavo Babies. Yeah, the Teen Girl Squads was pretty fun. Actually, they had that game by Telltale Games. Was it Telltale Games that made it? Anyways, there was Strong Bad's awesome game for cool people or whatever it was called. Be determined. And you could make your own Teen Girl Squad things in it that were pretty good. So, what are we going to grasp for the object, cry, or ignore the object? I'll lean away from the mic and take a drink. There was the Yellow Dello had like a director's commentary where they had Strong Bad and Strong Sad talking about it, and Pom Pom stops and just starts floating in the air. They forgot to animate him. 100%, grab the object. And he goes, "Oh man, I don't trust that guy as far as I could throw him." And Strong Sad starts going, "Oh, you must really trust him a lot then." You just keep going. All right. You have the fighting spirit of your Aunt Martha. You sneak and crawl on your belly like a kitten trying to catch an unsuspecting mouse. You reach your destination, grasp the rattle confidently, and drool on it in victory. Intellectual sphere shows a marked increase. So, what are we going to do here? Are we going to shake, rattle, and roll? Are we going to keep drooling on it? Are we going to admit a pleasurable yell? A yell of victory. A savage yell. Oh man, I used to have those static clings too. They came with like I bought something else and they came with them. It was pretty cool. Like I bought stuff from the store. I used to have a Hamsar shirt. So are we a shaman, an idiot, or a barbarian? It looks like the votes are in, and we're going to shake the rattle. Shake, shake, shake the crime stick. I'm a song from the 60s. This is terrific fun. You spend a good amount of time shaking the rattle, and then fall asleep, exhausted by the long trek from one end of the crib to the other. All right, it's time for another brain game. Like, we can jump ahead here and stuff, and then come back, which is ridiculous because at this age, you're jumping ahead quite a bit in life. So, like, you'll be, like, crawling around and doing stuff, and then suddenly jump back to, like, you can't move. So it's better to do these ones in order unless you're going to skip them and not come back. Are you lying down? You are lying down in the crib while your mom and dad are speaking in another room. You hear their voices, deep and muffled from beyond the door. Why aren't they paying attention to you? All right, what type of child are we? We're getting no attention here. Yes, it's just as often Homestar quotes. Are we happy or sad that they're not paying attention to us? And are we going to sleep or make noises? Well, we can only answer one question at a time. So first, mood. 1, 2, or 3. Or 1 or 2, sorry. Mood question mark. Shortening the polls a little bit, just so we can really hammer them out and get some of this game going on. So be on your clicker fingers, ready to vote. Still have 15 seconds to do it, but just to make sure. Back then, the internet was a more wholesome place, unless you went to the wrong parts. We are going to be happy. And then we are going to... What do? 1 or 2. We're going to sleep or make noises. Happy little noises. Ooh, vote's a little more split on this one. Oh boy. Bean might get her chance to speak her piece, unless somebody shows up. I forgot to change the length of this poll. Oh, so 2 more people voted. No one wants Bean to have her say. We are going to make noises. Bean denied. Positive, happy noises are sure to bring rewards in the form of attention from your parents. You make a variety of noises using your mouth, lips, and saliva. You make them over and over again. La 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 la. Ga. Suddenly mom comes in. So are we going to be quiet and attentive or keep making noises? I do remember that thing. A little click around. Making out with marzipan is awesome. The cheat. I can't remember. There was the secret code to get like the next one unlocked and stuff if you said the right thing. What do? All right, another 16 second poll here. 1 or 2. But Homestar can win the stupid competition. Yeah, it was a very good website. And those guys went on to do some pretty awesome stuff actually in the real world. I guess that was the real world at the time, but they clearly left it because they weren't making mad cash. We're going to keep making noises. See what our mom thinks of it. Yeah, they did come back for a bit, and every once in a while they do still release something. This brings moms closer to you. She smiles at you, which makes you feel very excited. You pound your hands up and down on the crib mattress and move your feet like a person riding a bicycle. You begin to notice your sounds and movements. Create responses from others. Let's make sounds at mom or stop making sounds. Are we going to be an entertainer, or are we going to be like, what happens when you stop? This is interesting because it's like mom's becoming closer to you, but are we going to be like, now that you're here, we're done? Do something with us? Or are we going to be like, hey, we're interacting? Oh, only one. Oh, no, 5 people. Okay. But 100% voted for make sounds at mom. People want to keep mom happy. Trying to talk sooner. Ba, 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 ba. Can you tell if I'm saying ba or pa if I have my mouth covered up? Make sounds. Oh, shoot. That was another vote. I forgot. E-O-E. All right. I'll give you guys the vote again now when the next one comes up. Are we going to make sounds at mom or stop making sounds? Yeah. So are we trying to learn to speak faster? Or are we just like, you know what, we did enough. You make noises now. accidentally made it a very long poll. People are becoming less inclined to make the noises, but people are still voting more for the noises. I don't think Shut Up is going to make a comeback. And we did vote that loud noises. We did vote that children should not just be seen and not heard. So we're going to make sounds at mom. Da. Ooh, is that the right noise to make? Ma. Mom hears this combination and gets excited. This causes you to say it over and over. Mother is reinforcing this combination of sounds with attention, and you are reinforcing her attention with the sounds, keeping her close to you. This marks the beginning of language development and is a significant moment in your life. Good job, chat. Intellectual, emotional, and social spheres increase dramatically. You got stats, folks. All right, where are we going to go here? Let's check out... Oh, it's nappy time. Let's check out the this thing. I think this is sort of like school times. Maybe it's family times. I don't know. It's time to go to Aunt Lucy's house. That's probably family times. It's chilly outside, and you need to be dressed in a coverall type suit. Are you angry or playful? I remember this one. It's coverall styles. So, are we going to be angry or playful as we try to have this done? And are we going to, afterwards... Well, I guess I'll let you choose the mood first, because depending on what type of mood you choose, it might change what sort of situation you're going to do here. All right, we have chosen to be playful and not angry. We're still a happy child. Go limp? It's an option, you know? If you're angry and you don't... You've seen kids do that. It's one of the easiest ways to not do something, is if you go completely limp and become dead weight, it becomes impossible to get you to do something, like get your arm in a sleeve. So, are we going to playfully go limp, resist, or cooperate? All three should work. And depending on how we play this out, it will affect your relationships with people, you know? Are they happy about you? Are they angry with you? Do they feel like you're making them look bad? We'll see what happens based on what you choose. When do you get a gun? I guess it depends on what job you get. Although I wouldn't be surprised if there is a chance to get a gun in this game later on. And with all of the votes, we're going to go with 3. Cooperate. Playfully cooperate. What does the game think about it? It's thinking long and hard about cooperating. What a good baby. Your mother has very little trouble getting you into your suit. Styles. Yeah, you might not be into firearms, or maybe when you become rebellious as you get older, you become super into them. Getting your grandmother holds you while your mom gets dressed. Ah, how are we going to treat grandma now? So our mom is happy with us. But how will grandma feel? Oh my god, you have to tab like 80 times to get to poll question. One or two, are we, or 3?
You're pretty good.
Hey! Wilku Tupac. You're pretty good. Thanks for the follow. Are we going to give her a great big smile, spit up on her, or ignore her? Go ahead and place your votes now, folks, on how the child's going to react. Little Zerfina, as she's being held by her grandmother. We already made our mom happy with us. You don't need everyone to be happy with you. Or do you? Trying to please everybody is sometimes not the best way to go through life. Hopefully I didn't butcher your name too much. And it looks like we are going to go with give her a great big smile. You're behaving yourself very nicely today. This is one of those experiences that your grandma will always remember. for the rest of her life, which might not be that long. You have just become one of her favorite grandchildren and will be rewarded handsomely later in life. Oh man, I've never gone down this path of being a good baby. Apparently it's a good idea. This can help you if you get yourself into a jam, which undoubtedly you will. Oh my. Hey, if she doesn't last that long, we're going to be getting mad cash. Just a digital grandmother. All right, what do we want to do here? Let's go with heart. Heart. But I'm always too playful and not good for our parents, but apparently our grandmother loved it. Mom and Dad are entertaining some friends while you are minding your own business sitting quietly in a corner of the room. Suddenly a man with a big nose and a shiny head puts his face right up to yours and says something in a loud voice. Smile and remember your grandparent will be dead soon. Are we going to be angry, in a terror, or calm? And as you vote for your mood, think about the thing that you're going to do to this guy. Because you'll want it to make sense. So are we going to be angry, in a terror, or calm? Anger scream. Could be a good result. Hit the man in the nose is another. An angry punch. Rocket punch. And the votes are split based on people wanting to try different things. Just a few seconds left to get your vote in. All right, we had a little bit for everything, but the majority has ruled with anger. Are we going to scream in a loud voice, hit the man, or do nothing? Let's start up the poll here. If only we had that gun, we'd be able to teach this man a lesson about loud voices. Lethal wants to respond in kind. He's loud at us. Let's be loud at him. When someone breaks the pact, they get ripped open. And Roland wants to skull punch the guy. Lethal also finds punching to be an okay result. As long as you don't do nothing, Lethal will be happy. Oh, it's a tiebreaker. So Bean has to break the tie, but she only gets to choose from the options of scream in a loud voice or hit the man in the nose. Do nothing has been swept under the rug.
Destroy him, my robot.
Oh boy. Somebody wants to destroy him. Bean advocates violence. We're going to hit the man in the nose. Drive the cartilage into his brain, killing him. I don't know if we're quite strong enough for that yet. A large target, you hit it dead center. You react offensively to a potentially terrifying situation. You are learning to stick up for yourself. But don't forget to rely on your parents. They might have helped in this situation. Psh. Did we get some stat boosts? All right, we're going to leave that one brain box thing down there behind. And move along. You can't get to the very end if you do every single thing. Time is passing by. We'll check the clock at the end of this one. You are sitting in your high chair eating your lunch, which consists of crackers, strained peas, and a mug of milk. You are just learning how to eat with utensils. We're coming along quick here. How do we feel about having some food? Are we an angry eater? Or are we a curious eater? So, mood, angry or curious? What do we feel like? Can we eat with a bazooka? You can try. I feel like it's going to be a little bit difficult to do, a little too forceful. I think it's anger at learning. I don't like food anymore. We've come full circle, folks, back to Homestar Runner. Oh, and people seem to be very curious. So, how are we going to handle this curiosity? Are we going to pick up Susie Fantastic plastic drinking cup, which is different from what the boys' one is? So our parents are definitely treating us differently just because we're a girl. Are we going to try and use the spoon or escape from the high chair? All three are equally curious. Zerfina is turning into strong sad. I don't know. She's been a happy baby so far, but who knows? Let's drown from the sippy cup and learn the fragility of life. Okay, people have decided we're going to try using the spoon. How's that going to go for us? First, you put the back end of the spoon in your mouth. You then lift up the cup with both hands and try blowing through the spoon as if it were a straw. Nothing happens. So, how are we going to handle this? So, we're not very good at spoon yet. Bad at spoon. Perception checks -1 for losing an eye. I forgot the do and what do. That's why it won't let me start the poll. So, are we going to find something else to do or keep playing with the spoon and cup? I see you've played Cuppy Spoony before. And it looks like this vote doesn't have much of a chance for a comeback. We are going to keep playing with the spoon and cup. But have you played Sporky? Curiosity and persistence are early signs of an inventive personality. One day during late childhood, you may find yourself attempting to rewire the electric hairdryer and have a shocking experience. For now, you stir the milk rapidly with a spoon or place the spoon inside the cup and tip the high chair tray forward. So, what do? One more time. 1 or 2? Are we going to do a little bit of a stir action? Or are we going to flip the bitch? Oh man, people are voting quick on this one. It is a bit of a split vote, but not split enough now. I'm not going to. Now, I'm not trying to be rude, but hey, little baby, I'm feeling you. We're going to stir the milk the way we do with the spoon. Rapidly. See, I ran out of rhymes there, so I paused and made it on purpose. It makes bubbles! It bounces out of the cup and hits you in the face. It causes the cup to fly off the tray and spill all over the floor. This is great! Your mother fails to understand the true significance of your discovery, but acts surprisingly tolerant. So hey, we still got to make a mess. Alright, let's hit I think this is social circles. Hey there, Zeffy, how's it going? We're making some choices in life here. For those that have arrived recently, my wife is pregnant and she's going to be having a baby girl. And here we are practicing. I'm Papa Zerf, trying to lead you guys along life while you make choices. While being taken to the park, your dad meets an old college buddy who is wheeling around a baby about your age. As the dad talks, you casually begin to eye the baby in the other carriage. Are we going to be indifferent, curious, or aggressive? Yes, leading the Zerflings. Zerfina in this case. Although a Zerfette would have been pretty appropriate for the name. Let's create a poll here. Mood. 1, 2, or 3. Are we going to be curious, indifferent, or aggressive? Number 1 is indifferent. Number 2 is curious. Number 3 is aggressive. Let's make sure we do it right. No, I mean, you can't be good all the time. As a parent, my advice to children is, sometimes you gotta be a little shit. Just to keep your parents honest. We're gonna be curious in this case, but it was a very split vote, very close. 2, 3, and 2. So, now what do? Whoops. Alright, let's create a poll real quick. Are we going to do nothing with our curiosity, or put your finger near the other baby's face? I'm glad we're not doing that aggressively, actually. That probably would have... but this could be... this could be a situation of, Charlie bit my finger. That hurts, Charlie. But people want to take the risk. Well, give this baby a little bit of a finger doing. A baby. You wonder if it has all the same parts as you. Are we going to touch the baby's face or touch the baby's arm? So, another what do here. 1 or 2. You can only experiment with actions, though observations can be valuable too. Very true. Give the other baby -1 to perception checks. Poke right in the face. Oh, I left this poll at a long thing. You guys are going to have a good chance to get your votes in. There's still a chance for a comeback of the one that is behind. But we are going to touch the baby's arm. We're being a little bit safe. We don't want to get bit. But maybe it doesn't have that many teeth yet. It's just a bit of a gumming. The baby touches you back. You are exploring the environment and learning about one another. This causes your intellectual and social spheres to increase. You seem to like one another. You've made your first friend. Aww, little Zerfina's growing up and making friends. All right. I'm going to hit up these ones first before we head to this one. This is like a health thing. And this can result in us having good things or bad things in life. And sometimes they depend on how much you've developed your strength and whatnot first. So we're going to go ahead and try to get our stats a little bit higher before we decide to learn about what sort of mistakes we can make. You were touching something smooth and shiny. You pat it with your hand a few times. Oh, the baby's super social baby. More social than some of the people in the chat. Oh, pop soap. Are we confused or passive? Both of them seem like a little bit of a odd choice to be when you're patting something smooth. So, mood. How moody are we? What type of moody are we? Are we going to be confused, number 1, or 2, passive? Keep touching the smooth thing, but are we going to touch it in a passive manner? Or are we going to touch it in a confusing manner? This chair was really nice when I first got it, but it seems to have stopped being as comfortable. Ooh, 100% confused. So, here we go. We're confused, and are we going to... Let's create the poll here. What do? Are we going to, 1, keep touching the object, or 2, ignore the smooth object, which would... I mean, you're confused, and you're just like, I don't know what this is. First time touching smooth things. Let's see what sort of results we're getting. Ooh, very, very... It's not polarizing at all. Everybody just wants to keep touching that smooth thing. It's flat, a little cool. Wait a minute. There's a baby in there. Who that baby? Who do you guys think this baby is in this cool, flat surface? Well, let's go ahead and create a poll. Who dat baby? Is it us? Or is it someone else? You were confused enough as it was, eh? And now Zeffy and Zerf are both here. It's a baby trapped in the Phantom Zone. It's Emperor Zod. He's not an emperor yet. Oh, and the results are split, but not by very much. I wonder if you do choose someone else, if you get some sort of strange result. I don't know if it results in, hey, you're looking through a window instead of, hey, you're seeing yourself. But with 88% of the vote, we're going to vote that it's us. That's right. You're looking right at yourself in a mirror. Isn't that a beautiful baby? Oh, now you get to decide how you think of yourself. Now, I will say that looking good? Question mark? 1 or 2? Yes or no? I'll just put yes or no so that it's easier. When we started off, we came into the thing and we were the most beautiful baby in the maternity ward, but we had slight breathing problems. So, I mean, technically we know the answer to this, but are we going to be modest about it? Oh, Oh, chat's not modest at all. I think we can call this with 5 seconds left. 100% of the vote. We are going to be voting for, yes, we are a beautiful looking baby. In a game. You fuck modesty. All right. You really are quite stunning. You're developing a positive self-image. Way to go, chat. Oh, I forgot to go to the clock and see what's going on. We can also check out our stats. We'll do that after this. Your mom announces to you during a heart-to-heart talk that it is time for you to give up the bottle and drink from a glass like a big girl, even though we've had a sippy cup already once before. Are we going to be angry and stubborn, or disappointed but willing to try? So, what is our mood on this? 1 or 2? Are we looking to give it a try? Or are we going to be stubborn and say, no, I want a bottle. Give me Baba. I require a Baba. Guys, training from beer to hard liquor now. Yeah, you know what? There should be something where you're like, you know what? I am not disappointed. I'm excited to be a big girl. All right, so we're going to resist or refuse or give up the bottle. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's only really one choice that works here, but I'll give you guys the benefit of the doubt in letting you vote. 1 or 2, but I'm going to make it a really quick poll here. 10 seconds. So get in there as soon as you can. We're willing to try to resist. Bobo wanted more Baba. Oh, and it's a split vote, but we are going to give up the bottle. Someone wanted to see what happened if you try to mix your answers up. Mom understands how difficult it is for you to let go of an old friend and appreciates your effort. She has a box for you. Are we going to open it or remain upset and not open it? This is your chance to get sassy again. Now, the box. What's in the box? What's in the box? What do? 1 or 2? Now, I will say that, I mean, we can be stubborn and try to fight it, but clearly this box is a present of some kind. Do you want to miss out on a present? It could be a boat. I've always wanted one of those. You never know what's in the box. Oh, no. Well, you know what? We're pretty young. We can probably still find someone else. Could be a jet fighter. Could be all the Pepsi points we need to get a jet fighter. But we are going to be opening it up. Oh boy! A plastic Susie Fantastic drinking cup. This one has a bendy straw. Look at this! It even has your name on it. Wow, we can read already. Mom tells you Susie wrote it there herself. Mom's laying on a bit thick at the moment. All right, this is going to be a social thing here. Wheel of Fish. Yes, from UHF. You are a guest at your friend Missy's house. Her mom gives you both a box of crayons and 2 pieces of paper. Ooh, how are we going to feel? I mean, we're going to be drawing something, but there's ways this can go. Are we going to be artistic? Or are we going to be impulsive? There's all kinds of combinations that could go on here. Do they all work? How do people feel? It's a little bit of a mix. Not overly mixed up in the votes here. We're mainly going to be artistic. And are we going to draw on the paper or just draw in general? So are we going to be keep it in the lines kind of baby? Or are we going to be no impulsive paper airplanes, unplayable? This game doesn't suit me at all. I can't do what I want. Oh, I left the vote on the maximum length, so we're going to have plenty of time for people to vote what they want to do. It looks like people, in general, want to be a good baby. Or toddler now, probably. And draw on the paper. You behave yourself very nice. You are behaving yourself. Bleh, you are behaving yourself very nicely so far. You draw a pretty picture. Are we going to give it to Missy's mom, who has it going on? Or are we going to give it to our mom? You just want to see what happens when the kid has max stats. You win. That's what happens. Lisa was too busy making plans to vote. So, 1 or 2. Are we going to give it to Missy's mom or give it to our mom? I mean, both seem pretty okay ideas. Yeah. Oh, we're getting a pretty split vote here. People are going both ways on this. Oh, right at the last second. Giving it to our own mother has edged out a victory. 3-2. A very nice gesture. You can have a good time at somebody else's house for a short while, but there's no place like home. All right, guys. Here comes a difficult decision. We are hitting up one of the chest x-ray points. You are alone in the kitchen and begin exploring the closets and refrigerator. Are we going to be adventurous or curious but cautious? Ooh, Canuck Lucky's looking to mess this kid up. Well, I mean, you're part of the conscience. You're going to be deciding, what is our mood like here? 1 or 2? It's Widowmaker from Unreal Tournament 2014. So, are we going to be adventurous or curious but cautious? Oh, there's all kinds of trouble we get into here. And, very close vote, but we are going to be curious and cautious. It edged out by 1 vote here. Now, we're going to move towards the refrigerator. Are we going to move towards the pantry? Let's get this poll going here, and it will tell us. What do fridge or pantry? Start a bowl. Getting all sullen and sassy. Oh, geez. Yeah, do you know what there are? Is those, I don't know if the pantry is high up. I think it's more of a room-style pantry, like a closet with a bunch of stuff in it. But where do our parents keep the nasty things? Oh, it's a split vote. So, Bean. How does Bean feel about our curious but cautious adventure? Do we want to hit up the fridge or go to the pantry? She gets to get her tie-breaking vote in here. Pantry. Oh. So that's the highway to the danger zone. I know that from previous playthroughs. Although I'm pretty sure everything's a danger zone when they have the chest x-rays as your icon. You have a grand time examining and smelling many of the items in the kitchen. You are young, but have obviously learned that things can hurt you if you put them in your mouth. Don't you put it in your mouth, don't you put it in your mouth, don't stuff it in your face, don't stuff it in your face. It might look good to eat, and it might look good to taste, but you could get sick. Yuck. Canuck Lucky might be the only person that knows what I'm talking about here. You should know that some of the other choices could have led to an early death from accidental poisoning. Your judgment is superb. It will help you later in life. That was your chance to die. Watch out for those house hippos. Yeah. It was Mr. Yuck for you, eh? All right. So what do we got going on here? This is some more stuff happening here. Let's do some more brain development and see how we do. This game actually loads pretty quick. I don't know if the crackers are made it so it loads faster or if it's just naturally not that bad. You were sitting in a large place. A furry man walks up to you. He's walking around you in circles. Yeah, we had some pretty awesome PSAs back in the day. And we had access to the American ones too. I don't know if this one was, but there was Astar the robot. I can put my arm back on. You can't. So play safe. So are we going to be curious or frightened by this furry man? How do we feel about furries? Are we curious or frightened? Yeah, that robot was pretty terrifying. Get your arm cut right off. Actually, it did terrify me a bit when I was a kid. And then they made a new version that's just so dumb. I hate it. When you try to find it on YouTube, you normally end up with a new version that's 3D rendering. Psh. Be horrified even if he turns out cool. Well, it looks like most people think we should be curious, but not everyone. I'm a furry man. I'm not in some aspects. Curious takes the day. Are we going to point at the furry man or make noises and talk to the furry man? Well, let's go ahead and hit up a poll instead of hitting the... Okay, so what do 1 or 2? 15. Start it up. So, how are we going here? Ooh! 100% of the vote has voted for make noises at / talk to the furry man. This seems like an answer in what's it called? Family Feud, when someone's like, I'm going to yell at them, and they're like, is yell at them on the board? And then it comes up with make noises at / talk to the furry man. And you're like, that's not yelling. It's not yelling at all. You yell. Apparently it is yelling. You yell out to the furry man. He walks over to you and makes a noise that sounds like this. Roof. Then he sits on your leg. Furry man is a dog. You're absolutely right, Pop Soap. So, how are we going to react to this barking furry man? Are we going to grab the furry man by the head or push him off you? This game turns us from our usual terrible selves into the best people ever. Oh. Might be the results for some people, but some people are voting for some things that aren't the best. You can't just appreciate him for who he is. Dude's sitting on you. Nobody appreciates that. We're going to grab him by the head. The dog eats you. Game over. You grab his head between your two hands. Hey, now the man is licking you all over the face. Mommy says he's kissing you. I hit my microphone because of that. Being kissed by the furry man. Are we going to lick the furry man in the face or push him off us? How do we feel? I tend to vote semi-shitterly. I mean, this is dad practice. You're absolutely right. I got to try to steer you down the right path, but you can't always get what you want. Sometimes you might just find you get what you need. So, how are we going to react to this furry man? Are we going to lick him back, or are we going to push him off us? Chat seems to want to taste the furry man's face. Oh, and I left the vote too high up this time. I keep forgetting to turn it down to 15 seconds. People tend to be done by then. There's more votes coming in, but they're all still coming in for lick the furry man in the face. So let's go ahead. I don't think there's going to be a sudden comeback. Oh! 11% of people did vote for pushing him off. But we're going to lick him back. See what happens. His nose is cold, and the hairs tickle your face. He tastes very salty and has bad breath. The end. You are in a large department store waiting in line, and there's an extremely well-endowed woman standing in front of you. She smiles. It looks like you may have an interesting person to talk to. So, how are we... Okay, we'll see you in a minute, Pop Soap. How are we going to deal with this well-endowed woman? And how is she well-endowed? Does that just mean big-boned, or does it mean big-boobed? So how do we feel? Are we inquisitive or shy? So, how are we gonna handle this? Oh, it looks like people are very inquisitive about this. So let's go ahead and do that. And are we going to ask her some questions or be quiet? Apparently we've learned to talk. We don't know what a fuzzy furry man is, but we know how to talk. Hey miss, how'd you manage to get such massively monstrous memories? By the way, don't forget I got Benjamin Button's disease. So are we going to ask her questions, or are we going to be quiet? She kidnaps you. Oh no, maybe she isn't a nice lady. Maybe we need to learn about stranger dangers. But with 100% of the vote, we're going to ask her some questions. It's probably going to give us the option here. Which question would you like to ask her? Ooh, look, there's all kinds here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't want to stop asking questions right away, though. But it's an option. What do 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5? So are we going to say, do you have a husband? Do you have a doggy? Mommy said Daddy has a thick skull. Do you? Or, I tried very hard to pinch a penny like Aunt Edna, but couldn't. Can you? Oh, Erdenshire wants to know what happens if we're inquisitive but quiet. Yeah, and Roland thinks we may let our hens do the talking. Bringing Mild back. So it's spreading out the vote a little bit here, but people seem to be interested in how this lady feels about owning a doggy. Do you have a doggy? She tells you, no doggy, only a cat. You inform her that Daddy said that's what they cook in the restaurant on the corner. Perhaps you are interested in asking something else. Surfling. Have a good night, Zeffy. We'll see you next time. All right, so what do... We've got some more questions here. We can ask, do you... It's all the same options for some reason. Which, I'm not removing the option that we had, do you have a doggy again? But I would suggest that it's probably pretty boring to pick. Or maybe the lady starts thinking that you have a memory problem. Pretty close vote here. But it looks like we're going to be going with a bit of one of the joke questions. Mommy said Daddy has a thick skull. Do you? The lady giggles, and Mom puts her hand over your mouth and says, shh, whack. You have caused your mother enough embarrassment for one day. Ha ha. All right, let's hit this. I think this is family times. I keep forgetting to order our stats and see how well we're doing. Jeez, whack. Good grief. Hey, it's the early 80s. Things were a little bit different, but not as bad as they were in the 50s. It's Saturday morning, and Mom asks you to help with some chores. The Susie Fantastic Cartoon Hour has just begun. What are we going to do in this situation? What sort of child are we going to be? What sort of soundboard is going to keep disconnecting? It's kind of lame. So, mood. 1, 2, or 3. Are we going to 1, be cranky, 2, be helpful, or 3, be passive? Passively say, I want to watch the cartoons, Mommy. Let me watch them, please. I suppose the please makes it a little less creepy. It looks like with the majority of the vote, we're going to be helpful. People don't want to be... People don't want to be giving Mom a hard time here. Maybe we embarrassed her enough yesterday and we're just trying to make up for it. So, how are we going to do this? We're going to be helpful. Are we going to tell Mom you want to watch cartoons? Are you going to listen to Mom or ignore her? I have a feeling that the game is going to not let you do certain things if you're trying to be helpful. It's pretty hard. It's pretty hard to be helpful and ignore her. So I doubt that will work. It's also pretty hard to be helpful and tell your mom you want to watch cartoons. But maybe that results in her letting you watch the cartoons as long as you're helpful later. It was a very spread out vote, but we're going to listen to Mom. You're good kids. What a good girl. Mom makes you feel very important. As a reward, Mom takes out some special makeup and some old clothes. Oh, we get to play dress up. Just before you play dress up with Mom, the phone rings. She stays on for a whole 2 hours. Thanks, Mom. Jeez, some BS right there. All right, this is going to be another family event. Because I also... frick. So, next time I'm about to wrap something up, someone in chat say, "Hey, Zerf, check our stats." Daddy says, "It's time to go to bed." What is our mood like? Are we going to be cranky and mad or tired? Which is often the same thing for kids. Hey, Zerf, check our stats. You're not going to remember either. Yeah, Pop Zerf would have played dress up. And we know Lethal would have played dress up if he had the choice. He likes to get into the roles, you know? So, we are going to be tired. But what are we going to do when we're tired? Are we going to ask to stay up a while longer? Say, "I don't want to go to bed." Or ignore the request. So, the game is forcing us to be a little bit of a shit here. But not too bad. We can see how we sort of do it. And we're doing it in a tired fashion. What would I do in this situation? Jeez. I would probably be tired but asked to stay up a while longer. It's what I tend to do at night. Oh, as Papa, would I dress up? I mean, I don't like being on the phone for 2 hours. And since I'm going to be your Papa, I'll tell you what I'll do. If you ask to stay up a while longer, maybe I'll let you stay up for 5 minutes as long as you're not a jerk about it. If you say I don't want to go to bed, I'll be like, tough bananas. It's time to go to bed. And if you ignore the request, you're getting picked up. So, with 5 of the votes, we are going to ask to stay up a while longer. Although, I don't know exactly what I would do once I actually have a child, because it's hard to say. It's all great when it's theory, but when you're actually in the situation, it's... Dad explains how tired you are and what a busy day it will be tomorrow. Same old line. He offers to carry you. When you get to the bedroom, you can ask him to tell you a story or ask for a drink of water. So, what do... 1 or 2? Are we going to ask him to tell us a story or ask for a drink of water? Ask him to get wrecked. See, and that's the thing too, is that like, asking for a drink of water, parents always see through that. You're just trying to stay up a little longer. But asking for a story, parents can't help but tell you a story. I'll tell you, and we're going to be asking for the story, I'll tell you one thing. I have not read Harry Potter the whole time, even as they came out when I was in high school. I think, maybe college. But I refused to read it because I thought this would be a great book to read to a child. And I want to be surprised too. So I put people with their memes giving away secrets. Dad tells you the story of the 3 bears. You've heard it a million times before, but when he tells it, it's always special. You fall asleep holding on to Dad's big finger. So we have a pretty good relationship. That is apparently very large. Yeah, it does. But like, if you go through the books, I mean, when you read a kid a book before they go to bed, you're not reading very much of that book normally. Assertive but friendly is always a good strategy. Respectful, if you will. Every once in a while, though, and kids never understand this, and you never understand it as a kid. And then you always say, you know what? When I have kids, I'm always going to explain to them why they have to do what I'm saying at the moment. But then you're at the store and it's time to leave. And they say, but I want to stay and play. And you say, no, we have to leave. Why? Oh, because we have other stuff to do. But I don't want to do other stuff. Well, too bad. Eventually you get to that point. You are in a sandbox playing with your favorite toy. An older girl pulls it away from you and screams, "Mine!" How are we going to react to this? What is our mood going to be like? Are we going to be angry or anxious? And why is my soundboard not ever connecting? Connection timeout. Let's make this like 1000. Auto reconnect is on. Just frickin' do it. Okay, so with 5-1. And what did I miss here? Stats. Oh no, we both. Oh, geez, I'm the worst. Thank you very much for trying to help me to not be terrible, but I'm bad at it. Anyways, 5-1. We're going to be angry. Are we going to grab it back, get an adult, or cry? I need an adult. So, are we going to have a grab it back angrily? Are we going to get an adult? This child is bigger than us, remember. Or are we going to have a good angry cry and feel very, could be very cathartic to just get it all out? And I'm going to, what am I going to do to keep myself from doing this? I'm going to put this question mark. Where is that question mark? I'm going to put this over my controller so that I can't press buttons. And with a vote of 3, oh, no, it's not done voting yet. Oh, geez, I almost did it. What's it going to be? Could be anything. I was going anywhere with this. It's actually a very close vote right now. Jeez. All right. We have a tiebreaker. So, Bean gets to decide not to have an angry cry. She doesn't get that option, but she gets to choose between grabbing it back or getting an adult. How does Bean feel we should react in such a situation where a larger girl has taken our toy and said that it's hers? We're going to snatch it back on our own, or do we need to get an adult? Bean says get an adult. That was the one that was winning until the last second, so it works. And now I have this thing placed over top. No adult can understand what you're trying to say. You get put back in the sandbox with your girl. Throw sand in your face. That bitch. What? We don't get to do something after that? Psh, only one response to do here. Check our stats. We did it, boys. We checked our stats. Name is Zerfina. We are aged 3. Occupation none. Relationship status single. Our calmness is 47 out of 100. We're not a very calm baby. Our confidence is 80, though, and our expressiveness is also 80. Our familial relationships are in the 80s. Our gentleness is 42. Our happiness is 87. So we're not doing too bad on these stats. Our intelligence is 93. Yeah, we could be like a white mage or something. Our physical stat is 60, which isn't too bad. I normally have that in lower numbers because I'm drinking something not good for me out of the kitchen. Social status is 92. Our thoughtfulness is 64, a little above average, but we're not very trustworthy, just below 50. Our vocational status is 50%, which makes sense so far. No cash, no debt, and we've received no acquisitions. We could pester the lady in the store, but we can't tell people we need help. Maybe because we were so angry and not calm, they couldn't understand what we were trying to say. That might actually be the situation. If you calmly explain what's going on, maybe an adult can help. We need to read the rules of exposition. And we'll get all the stuff. So, lifetime. It has been 3 years and 3 months. All right, we're going to have a health check coming up soon. 2 of them. Oh, geez. But first, a little more heart. Heart. I'm not very good at that, am I? Time to feed the fish. You pinch a small amount of fish food between your fingers and tap on the glass. But there is no sign of Gabriella. Are we going to be confused or unaffected? Gabriella is missing from her fishbowl. So what is our mood here? Are we going to accidentally open Chrome Help instead? Are we going to be 1, confused, or 2, unaffected? We've gone from heart to heartbroken. I guess it really depends on how you guys vote. Everyone seems to be a little bit confused by what's going on. Gabriella's not in her normal spot. How are we going to resolve our confusion? Are we going to call for Mom, get her to help us out, look for Gabriella, or confusedly do nothing? Stand there with fish food pinched in our hands, staring at the fishbowl. I feel like doing nothing is not going to be a very fun result. Got 3 seconds left to vote, folks. It looks like we're going to be calling for Mom. We were so heartbroken by Gabriella's disappearance that one of the hearts went into the void. Some say his heart shrank by one size that day. Gabby floats up to the surface from under a big gray rock. I bet you that emoji will stay around for a long time just because it's a good old throwback. Her eyes seem very puffy. Her body is stiff. You were relieved to see she hasn't jumped out of the bowl. So, we called Mom, but then Gabby just floated up out of nowhere. So, how are we going to do this? Mom showed up, but didn't do anything about it. So, are we going to start to leave the room, or ask Mom about Gabby? She seems fine now. I mean, she's a little off from normal. She's floating up, though. Let's see how this vote's going. I like to watch the vote live. Oh, everyone wants to talk to Mom about death. Maybe Mom will get a little flustered by this. She does. Mom stutters through the answers to your questions. She's uncomfortable and sad. Mom explains that Gabby can't swim anymore. Mom says she's dead and that she's gone away. How can that be? She's right there. What is dead, you wonder? You're confused, and Mom says that Gabby has to be taken out of the bowl. How are we going to deal with this? There's going to be some sort of question. Are we going to flush Gabby down the toilet or keep her in a box in your drawer? I don't know why Mom's leaving this up to us. It's pretty ridiculous. Maybe she hangs from the roof from the ceiling for a while to dry out. So, are we going to just, give her a burial at sea, or are we going to be kind of weird about it? And maybe that kid with a fish in a box. People seem to be more wanting to give Gabby a flush down the toilet. One last swim. We commend her body to the deep. Step 1, got a hole in the box. Whoa. Step 2, put your fish in that box. I don't know if that's the type of kid we're trying to be. Even though Mom has on a sad face, you giggle at the thought of Gabby swimming in the bowl. You wonder if she will tickle the next time you go to the bathroom. It isn't a real laugh, but you don't know what else to do. Confusing emotions. All right. Let's head up the split in the path here. We're going to get our health checked. How are we going to do? Now, we do have 60 for our health so far. You're eating at the house of one of your parents' friends. You're told by your mother to be on your best behavior. You better behave. But I am behave. Something that you ate disagreed with you. You feel very sick. Uh-oh. So, we only have one mood to choose here. I'm not going to make you vote. We feel queasy. But what do we do about it? Mom told us to behave. We're going to ignore it. We're going to throw up and get it over with. We're going to call Mom. Or are we going to try to find the bathroom all on our lonesome? It's a lot of choices. Not a lot of time to vote. Get your votes in there, folks. People seem to be very, very decisive about this one. Not decisive in the being divided up, but just very, not divisive, decisive. They want to call Mom. Well, we're doing our best. Mom walks over to you and asks what's wrong. She brings you to the bathroom and takes your temperature. You don't have a fever. She gives you a glass of warm milk. You feel a little better. But it wasn't the milk that did it. It was Mom. I've done this before, and if you don't have a good relationship with your mom, a good enough relationship with your mom, she will actually ignore you. And you end up spewing your guts everywhere. But she doesn't get mad. She's mad with herself for not paying attention. Yeah, Jaxers is a way better mom than the usual alter ego mom. She's handling things well. Let's have a little bit of familial activity. And I think we'll do the social thing before we do the next health thing. It's a little further down the path. It looks like it might be a little bit more dangerous. You are still not completely familiar with using the toilet. It's still quite fascinating to you. You've just finished and have cleaned yourself like a big girl. Are we going to be playful and curious or content in our ability to wash our hands? Whoops, that's way too much. There we go. 1 or 2. Apparently, I almost tried to make two votes. All right, so pay attention to what's going on in the second thing as you vote, because it might change things up a little bit on how you want to vote, depending on what you want to do later. But 5-2. We're going to be playful and curious. So, how are we going to handle this? Hey, Deoxyribal, how long have you been here? I haven't noticed you. Good, you didn't say something very recently, and I missed it. How are we going to handle this playful curiosity? Are we going to watch the toilet paper disappear into the toilet? Are we going to make a boat and float it in the bowl? Are we going to playfully leave the bathroom? I don't know that one's going to result in something that the game will let us do. Although, so far you guys have been pretty good about not ending up with, a bit of a redundant situation where you can't, doesn't work. Hey, Grimmeth, welcome to the stream as well. And with a pretty sizable majority, we are going to watch the toilet paper as it disappears into the toilet. Whoosh! You watch a long ribbon of paper spin and disappear into the bowl. Ah, we did the old trick where you just throw one in. And watch it go. So, what are we going to do? Are we going to do it again or do something else? Yes, we're playing Alter Ego. This is actually the stream where I announced that Jaxors, I've mentioned that she's pregnant elsewhere before, but I didn't announce what it's going to be. It's going to be a baby girl. Chat named her Zerfila? I can't even remember what we named her. Zerfina, I believe, is how it was. And you guys are being my test children as I try to guide you on the path of life. Hopefully you don't mess it up too much. So what do? Are we going to do it again? Or are we going to do something else? So far, chat's been a really good kid. I can't remember my daughter's name. She's not even born yet. Hey, it could change maybe. I don't know. All I know is it's not going to be Optimus Prime. I tried, though. I tried. So, we're going to do it again. You pull about 30 feet of toilet paper off the roll and flush the bowl. It fills up all the way to the top with water, and then comes rushing out onto the floor. As the water comes rushing out, Mom rushes in. You are not allowed to watch the Susie Fantastic cartoon hour for a week. This is the worst possible punishment. After 3 days, the sanction is lifted. Aw. See, being a mama's boy has, or mama's girl has paid off a little bit. See, the thing was, so Jaxors changed her name in Facebook alone when we got married. And the plan was to always change her name, but she never got around to it. But she wants us all to have the same name as a family. But she's been a little bit feet draggy about it. She's actually gone through the paperwork now already. So I was like, well, I'll make you a deal. Because she picked a name for a girl, which I'm not going to say. And she picked both names, the first name and the middle name. And I've agreed to them. But I was like, because you picked both names, if you don't get your name changed so that the last name is at least mine, I get to pick the first 2 names, and I'm not going to tell you what they are until I've already filled out the paperwork. So, the threat worked. She changed her name pretty quickly after that. But I did let slip that Optimus Prime was going to be my choice for a girl. Optimus Prime Fauntleroy would have been great. The phone rings while Daddy is ironing a shirt. He must leave you alone in the room. All right, guys, this is your chance. Are we going to be helpful or cautious? Are we going to be safe or dangerous? So, how do we feel? What's our mood? 1 or 2? I can't help it. The game made me do it. Although, as a father, I would have warned you, don't touch hot things. Or maybe I would have forgotten because the phone was ringing. I didn't hit start on this poll. So, what are we going to do? Don't blame the player, blame the game. Don't blame the streamer. Blame the polls. Yes, hot burns. Fire bad. So, we are going to be cautious. And are we going to play quietly, or are we going to try to help our dad cautiously? So 1 or 2. 1, play quietly, or 2, help Dad iron the shirt. What ood? What odd? Play quietly by running around near the iron board. It's true. Playing quietly might somehow result in the iron messing us up anyways. But 100% people want to play quietly. Nobody wants to see little Zerfina get burned. At least not in this way. Maybe a sick burn later on with a bit of a dad joke. Dad realizes that you're alone with the hot iron and calls you to him. You run into the room and trip over the iron cord. Oh, clumsy, clumsy baby. The iron wobbles but remains upright. Whew, you have avoided getting hurt. That iron can come flying into you, and that happens to me every time I try to not get burned as a boy. I don't know if the game's just being nice to a girl, or if it's that our physicality is high enough that we don't completely get tripped up by the cord. So, time for a little bit of a social aspect here, and then we're going to get into some heart. I can't remember what the heart stands for. Burn your dick because you're a boy. Way to go, boy. Yes, chat is already emotionally invested in this child's well-being. So, today is Dad's birthday. Oh, fun times. And you would like to make him breakfast. What is our mood? How do we feel about this breakfast? Do we want to be extravagant or practical with the breakfast? I have a feeling that this is one of those times that... All right, Roland, have a great night. Or day, or whatever. I don't know where you are either. Hopefully we don't mess this kid too much up in your absence. So we are going to be practical, but just barely. It was a very close vote there. And are we going to try to make eggs? Are we going to try to make cereal? Or are we going to try to ask for help? I'll give you a little bit longer on this one to decide what to try to do. Eggs, cereal, or asking Mom for help? We're probably about 4 years old right now. And you know what? Chat is being very, very on point with this. Not on point, but everyone's voting for the same thing. Everyone wants our mom to help us. Ask Mom for help because Dad wants bacon. We could use the bacon strips. Dads don't know it's not bacon. Mom won't let you do exactly what you want, but helps you to make Dad a nice breakfast. This makes him feel terrific. Way to go, Chad. I feel great. All right, what are we going to do? Let's do the family event first here. Bacon, bacon puppy. Mom must get her teeth fixed, and you must go with her to the dentist. You sit in the waiting room for a very, very long time. Mom must run out and put money in the parking meter. Mom sits you on the floor, gives you a magazine to leaf through, and tells you to behave. So, chat, are you going to be behave? Let's create a poll here. See what happens. Are we going to be patient or mischievous? It's all up to you. If we're mischievous, we can remove our shoes, or grab the magazine, or be a good girl, or we can be a patient good girl, or patiently remove our shoes, or patiently grab the magazine. Maybe all these won't work. We are going to be patient because Chat is a good little girl. Aren't you, Chat? You're a good little girl. But what are we going to do? 1, 2, or 3. Are we going to remove our shoes, grab the magazine, or be a good girl? Patiently grabbing the magazine does actually make sense. Patiently removing your shoes, not so much. And it looks like we are going to grab the magazine. We might be a good girl, but we're not willing to just sit there bored. Your coordination isn't terrific. As you lift the magazine, the cover tears with a loud rip. Alright. Rip magazine. Haha. A lady spies you out of the corner of her eye and gives you a dirty look. Geez, it was an accident, lady. Oh man, we have a chance to be sassy or super sassy. So, what do... I'll give you 20 seconds on this poll. Are we going to ignore her, stick out our tongue at her, and give her a raspberry? Or are we going to blow her a kiss? You're next, lady. Sexy pose. The damn soundboard just can't stay connected today. How's Chat feeling? Ooh, Chat's pretty split on this. Pretty split indeed. How's it going to go? 2 seconds left? Ah, we are going to blow her a kiss. That's what I wanted to have happen, so we're doing pretty good here. Gonna troll her. I hope that a kid of mine would be willing to troll her a little bit. What a little angel, the lady says. Come here, you little doll. I don't think she got the message. Are we going to go? Or are we going to stay away? Should we stay or should we go now? Deoxy thinks this is a stranger danger. But maybe this lady isn't so bad after all. Maybe she realized it was a mistake. Or maybe we're going to walk over there and she's going to smack us and say, strangers are dangerous. Don't go near them. Or maybe she'll steal us. And she'll be our new mom. All kinds of options. But people decide to stay away from that lady. Before you know it, she would have been slobbering all over your face. On the other hand, she was about to give you a piece of candy. Playing shy causes her to make noises at you. Why do they all do that? They make her look absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, dentist's office is normally pretty safe. But a candy would have given us cavity, maybe. I don't know. It's a little dangerous candy. All right, let's hit up the heart. See if we can... Yeah, we humiliated her. Maybe she's somebody that gets embarrassed easily, and secretly inside she just was embarrassed that a child wouldn't come over to her. In the middle of the day, you get that heavy feeling in your stomach. You think it might be time to go to the potty. I want a cookie. I want a potty. You remember how upset Mom gets when you have an accident. Your mother is not in the immediate vicinity. So, how do we feel about Mom being like this? Are we going to be spiteful, concerned, or panicky? If I recall, we weren't the most calm baby in our stats. And that's the thing, is that sometimes, if depending on what you pick, you can do weird stuff based on your stats. Looks like Chat is voting a little bit of mix, but mainly concerned. So, how are we going to handle this? We don't want to have an accident. We're very concerned about it. Are we going to call for Mom? Are we going to try to get to the bathroom on our own? Or just let nature take its course? Although it is a mammal's natural instinct not to crap where it lives, but diapers train babies to crap where they live. How does Chat feel about all this? Ooh. It's an interesting vote indeed. How does Bean feel about this?
You're pretty good.
Hey, Farwalker 3. You're pretty good. Thanks for the follow. Does Bean think that we should call for Mom? Or does Bean think we should try to get to the bathroom? Or is Bobo secretly pretending that Bean is interested? And really, he's just having 2 votes. We'll never know. It was Chat's choice to put Bean in charge of these tiebreakers. She thinks we should do it ourselves. All right, let's try to get to the bathroom. How good are we at potty? You remind yourself how important it is to go on the potty. As per your strict mother's instructions, this raises your anxiety, increasing your urge to go to the bathroom. It's backfiring. You run towards the bathroom, taking little steps and holding your hands at your rear end. You are determined. You arrive at the bathroom door, reach up and turn the knob. Your small fingers slide around the shiny chrome several times. It's difficult to get a good grip. All right, how are we going to handle this, folks? Are we determined? Or are we just quitters? No child of mine would be a quitter, but it's up to you to decide how you act. So much suspense. What's going to happen? There's a nuclear poop explosion brewing at our bottoms. Very much suspenseful. Looks like Chat wants to keep trying. You finally grasp the knob and enter the bathroom. The toilet bowl looms up at you like a huge porcelain boat. So what do we do first? Oh man. Who knows how much of a difference this makes? Just pulling down your pants, give your body the signal, it's time to go? Just lifting up the lid, make it take too long, and you get it all in your pants. There's 2 possible outcomes here. They both could be good, they both could be bad. It's a 50-50 shot for Chat. How are you going to handle it? Very split, very split. That's pretty close still. Uh-oh. This is someone's chance to be the difference. Oh, it's up to Bean. How does Bean feel that she would handle this? She's a little 4-year-old girl that still is being potty trained. She's got to poop. So bad. Does she lift the lid of the toilet first? Or does she pull down her coveralls? Lift the lid. So many questions. Going to the bathroom is hard. You really have your priorities in order. I can see you securing an upper management position in a large company at a very young age. The lid flips up without a problem. You deftly remove your coveralls and panties in one smooth motion. You climb up the bowl and get your business done with. So how are we going to handle this? Are we proud of what we done? What we done? Did we do good? Does Mom need to know? Or is a quiet victory good for us? Hey, we did it. And we know we did it. And that's all that matters. I hear you flapping your ears over there, Lucky. Where are you? I think he's gone to lay down on the couch. Aw. You know what? It cut out for me too. Oh no, it's back up for me. All right. 5%, 5 people, 100% of the vote. We're just going to flush the toilet. Proud of a job well done. Except it was the hugest dump ever and the toilet gets flooded again. And Mom comes out, you did it again! You little shit. Hopefully that's not the case. You are becoming the type who is quietly satisfied with your accomplishments and does not need the approval of others. This is fine as long as you are independently wealthy. In life, reward often requires recognition, and recognition is often the product of good advertising. Keep this in mind later. You've fallen and drowned, game over. That would have been a weird thing. And see, we couldn't choose everything in these paths. You have just passed through infancy. A brief look at your life up to this time shows the following. How did we do? Your family life has been positive and nurturing, and as a result, you have begun to form the crucial bonds that are important during this phase of life. Physically, you have been a healthy baby. It's kind of boring. Socially, during this phase in life, nothing much is really expected of you. After all, you're still too young to throw a successful cocktail party, And frankly, anyone who still dribbles on herself probably wouldn't make the ideal dinner guest. However, there are some things you should have mastered. Your progress in this area shows. Hey, maybe we do have to go in backwards to get through all the options. Maybe we have to do it Benjamin Button style. Hey, Mom! I got Benjamin Button's disease. You have been the type of child who charms the lollipops off of people. You have been the type of child who is huggable and gets her cheeks pinched by old ladies with bright red lipstick. Now, regarding your emotional and personality development. You are not exactly the type of child who could be trusted to keep out of mommy's closets and drawers. We're going to find some things later in life we're going to wish we didn't. Your thoughtfulness characteristic really doesn't count for much in this phase of life. Most children often find themselves at the mercy of their whims and impulses. You are allowed to be cranky now. People will tolerate it much better than when you were a teenager. Then your whining and carrying on will seem more objectionable. One thing about your character that has a tendency to put people off is your aggressiveness. You are the type of baby who likes to pull on loose pieces of clothing, hair, and bulbous, fleshy objects that come within your reach. You are going to have to learn the meaning of make nice. Tomboy girl, could be. This wraps up your status for the very first years of life. I hope you like yourself. If not, you can always try to improve in the years to come. Don't worry, folks. There's still plenty of time left to improve. All right, so I'm going to display status and then ask me again. I will be saving the game. Here is how Zerfina is doing. She is 4 years old, doesn't have an occupation, and is single. Her calmness is a very low 38. Her confidence is a 90, and her expressiveness is an 80. Our familial ties are still 79. We're still 42 for gentleness, and our happiness is 87. 96 intelligence. We're 60 for physical. Our social is 96. Our thoughtfulness is 78. Our trustworthiness is 48. Our vocation is obviously still 50. No cash, no debt, and no acquisitions. So, yeah, she might be getting a PhD. We'll see how things go. I'm going to go ahead and save this snapshot the unofficial way here so that we have everything saved in RAM. This is Zerfina, part 1. We're only going to get dumber. Hey, we still got 4 points we could go up. This isn't Adrian Mole if we're talking about here. And we're going to go ahead and call it a stream here. It's after 11. C64 Sundays has come to a close. And next time, we're going to be going on into the childhood stage, seeing what sort of trouble you can get up to. There's plenty of options in the childhood stage that can get you into a lot of trouble. But let's go.
You're pretty good.
Hey, Deoxy, Ribo, thanks for the follow. I suppose the 9. Were there 8 other Deoxy Ribos before you at some point, or did you have to, did you include that number of your own volition? Either way, you're pretty good. Just want to get my things to work here. Just chose it. Nice. It's nice to get the name on your own accord, the numbers. On YouTube, I'm Zerfall because I kept trying other modes of Zerfall and it didn't work. Which, I mean, it's kind of worked out, but not necessarily the best. But I'm going to spend some of my own points here because it is going to be nap time. So, thanks for coming out, folks. Every Sunday, we do this between 9 and 11, sometimes a little earlier if I don't have too much going on that day. But let's go over to Mixer.com and see what's going on. Normally, Savage is doing something this time of night. He's playing some Elite Dangerous with a friend, Crazed Llama, and they're actually using the new split screen. Oh, no, they're playing some PUBG. But let's just double check who else is doing stuff right now. Oh, there's Revocane, but he's a Do Not Raider. I know that for sure. So, out of the people I know, Savage is the one that I tend to hang out with. So,
Someone's been here.
if you are so inclined to be part of a raid, head on over to Savage Oblivion's channel, and when I start hosting him, just give him a little bit of a
The next
Zerf
movie I am really
raid.
fucking hyped for is The Dark Tower.
He's talking about how he's getting hype about the Dark Tower books coming out. I don't know, maybe give him, let's give him some arms on our heads and a sloth. That's what I like. So, I'll see you all next week. Maybe later this week. I'm going to try to start getting a little bit more streaming going on, but we'll have to see how that plays out with work and all that jazz. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you then.
Where do you go?
I just got to find my freaking...
Another visitor.